welcome back. Today we are going to be making Fluffernutter Thumbprint cookies. Now I'm using another recipe from the Easy Homemade Cookie Cookbook, and this one I bookmarked it so I could get to it easier to show you. It's a cookie that's going to be a peanut butter cookie. That's why we have a giant jar of peanut butter. We're not using the whole jar, don't worry. That would be good though. Anyway, we're going to be making a peanut butter cookie that's a thumbprint. Now, I don't know if you've ever had these. I make them every Christmas because they're one of my favorite types of cookies. I usually fill them with strawberry preserves, so I'm also going to be doing that today because I want to taste a peanut butter and jelly cookie as well as peanut butter and fluff. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I used to get lunches that were usually I would get like a thermos of soup or pasta or something because, you know, I'm Italian. What else do we live on? But what I also had was peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and fluff. So I feel like this is a nice nostalgic treat for somebody that wants to relive all their peanut butter filled childhood days. I mean, unless you have like an allergy or something, then I'm sorry. The ingredients that we're going to need are all-purpose flour, baking powder, a stick of butter, unsalted, some vegetable shortening. I don't usually use this type of ingredient, but the recipe calls for it, and I'm not going to argue with the recipe because the recipe's published and I am not. Some creamy peanut butter of choice, some granulated sugar, packed light brown sugar, some vanilla extract, an egg yolk, just the yolk, not the white, and then some fillings of choice. The recipe is made specifically for Fluffernutter Thumbprints, so I am using fluff, but I'm also using some strawberry preserves just because I want to see how a peanut butter and jelly thumbprint tastes as well. As per usual for cookies, we're going to be preheating our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and then lining a cookie sheet with some parchment paper before we start getting our dough ready. So the first thing we're going to do is, in a medium mixing bowl, we're going to combine our flour, baking powder, and salt. Once our dry ingredients have been thoroughly whisked together, I'm going to take the butter, shortening, both of our sugars, and our peanut butter and combine them in a large mixing bowl with an electric mixer until they are light and fluffy. If you want room temperature butter, you should just leave it at room temperature. Don't forget about it and then take it out of the fridge and try to melt it. The smell of peanut butter is incredible. You know how when you look in a jar of peanut butter, you can see like all the knife marks from where people have like scooped out the peanut butter? Well, this one looks really interesting because I just like used a spoon, so it's just a hole. Shortening is not my thing. It just kind of grosses me out. But I know that like in a cookie, it'll probably make it taste really good. So the next step we're going to take is, once this is combined, we're going to add our egg yolk and our vanilla. Now that our wet ingredients are completely combined, I'm going to add our dry in and beat on a low speed until the dough begins to form. I'd say that we now have a dough, and it smells absolutely delicious and like a spoonful of peanut butter, which I used to eat and still do sometimes. So I'm going to grab my cookie sheet and we're going to start rolling these out into little peanut butter balls. I'm going to just take about a tablespoon of the dough palms and roll it around so that it is a nice little ball, and then place it on the cookie sheet. And then what you do is, the recipe says that you need to take the back of like a teaspoon and press in, but I say we use our thumb, seeing as these are called thumbprint cookies and not spoon indent cookies. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And now we're just gonna do that to the rest of our dough. Something funny that's happened recently is that I wasn't really all into peanut butter the past few years. I loved it as a kid, but I hadn't eaten a lot of it in like recent time. But my boyfriend really loves peanut butter on a lot of things. So I was just kind of like, peanut butter sounds good, I'm gonna have some today. And then I remembered how much I loved peanut butter, because it's delicious. Okay, I have one tray right here, all set and ready to go. I managed to get 4 rows of 4. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven for about 13 to 14 minutes or until the edges are golden brown. That's gonna be tough to know with these cookies though, because they are already a brownish color, but hopefully they'll change enough for me to know that they're done and not burnt. These have come out of the oven and I have let them cool a little bit, but because I am both impatient and I like things that are melted, I am going to start scooping some fluff into them right away. Well, not right away, but like, they're definitely still warm. So I actually found this really cool tiny spoon that I think will be perfect to just kind of plop some filling into these with. Okay, so the cookie is actually very crumbly, which I realized when I was taking them off the trays. That's why she wants them cool first though. Okay, so as you can see, the camera actually didn't record me trying the first fluff one. So, I mean, obviously, I'll tell you that it was absolutely fantastic. It's a very crumbly cookie. So when you break it, it just kind of, it falls apart. And the fluff has like this skin. Honestly, the fluff can kind of just come off. So that's obviously why you would wait for it to cool. But yeah, they're very good cookies. And I would highly recommend making them, especially if you like peanut butter. If you like peanut butter and fluff or even jelly, I would highly recommend making these. I really love them. And they smell like Christmas to me just because there's peanut butter cookies that we make, as well as the original like sugar cookie jelly thumbprints. But they just are really good and I really like them. And I highly recommend them. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or potentially subscribing to follow on more of my cooking misadventures as I explore new recipes and essentially just try to get better at baking and cooking because I really enjoy it and I really like it as almost an art form and just a way to bring love and joy to people that you care about through food. So if you enjoyed this, I'm glad you stuck around and thank you for watching. Bye!